What if winning the game wasn't actually the hardest part? What if surviving changed you forever? Squid Game Season 2 takes the story far beyond deadly competitions and asks a much darker question. Can one person really stop a system built on greed and suffering? Today, we're breaking down the ending and the hidden meaning behind everything that happened. After surviving the first Squid Game, Ji-hun is no longer the same person. The prize money gave him financial freedom, but it never gave him peace. Every memory of the people who died continues to haunt him. Instead of enjoying his new life, he becomes obsessed with one goal: finding the people responsible for the games and destroying them forever. Season 2 immediately shows that the organization behind Squid Game is much larger than anyone imagined. The games were never a single event. They are part of a carefully organized system that continues year after year with new players desperate enough to risk everything for a chance at survival. Gi-hun realizes that simply exposing the games won't be enough. The organization has unlimited resources, powerful connections, and people willing to protect its secrets at any cost. This transforms the story from a survival thriller into a psychological battle between one determined survivor and a hidden empire. One of the biggest themes of Season 2 is choice. Every contestant believes they are making their own decisions, but the series constantly asks whether desperate people truly have freedom. When poverty, debt, and hopelessness leave someone with no alternatives, is their choice really voluntary? Or has society already decided for them? The new players each represent different parts of modern society. Some are driven by financial collapse, while others are escaping personal tragedies, broken relationships, or impossible responsibilities. Their backgrounds remind us that anyone pushed far enough can become vulnerable to manipulation. Another important idea explored throughout the season is trust. Inside the games, alliances become both a strength and a weakness. Every friendship creates hope, but also creates another opportunity for betrayal. The series constantly challenges the audience to ask how much they would sacrifice to protect themselves. The people running the games remain just as terrifying as before because they never see contestants as human beings. To them, every player is simply another piece in an expensive form of entertainment. This complete loss of empathy becomes one of the darkest messages of the entire series. Gi-hun slowly discovers that defeating the organization requires more than courage. It requires understanding how the system survives. Fear, greed, and desperation are the true fuel keeping the games alive. Unless those problems are confronted, new competitions will always replace the old ones. The ending pushes Gi-hun into one of the most difficult situations of his life. Instead of simply trying to survive, he must decide how much he is willing to sacrifice to stop the cycle forever. His journey becomes less about winning and more about protecting future victims from suffering the same fate. One of the strongest hidden messages in Season 2 is that evil rarely disappears when one villain is defeated. Systems built on inequality often continue because countless people benefit from them. That is why stopping the games becomes much more complicated than eliminating a single leader. The final moments leave viewers with more questions than answers. We begin to understand that the organization may be even larger than anyone expected, and its influence could extend far beyond a single location. This revelation completely changes the scale of the story and prepares the audience for an even greater conflict ahead. Rather than offering a simple conclusion, Season 2 reminds us that courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is choosing to fight even when the odds seem impossible. Gi-hun enters this new chapter carrying the memories of everyone who died before him, and those memories become the reason he refuses to give up. That is why Squid Game remains one of the most powerful survival dramas ever created. It is not only about deadly games. It is about human nature, moral choices, social inequality, and the price people are willing to pay when hope feels impossible. With the organization still operating and Gi-hun refusing to walk away, the story is far from over. The next chapter promises an even bigger confrontation, and one final question remains unanswered. Can a single survivor really destroy a system designed to last forever? Or will the games continue for another generation?